Hello and welcome to the launch of a very special campaign, Cashless Bano India. We at NDTV have partnered with MasterCard to launch this campaign to create awareness and to educate the masses about digital payment solutions. This clearly one of the main campaigns that the government has been doing and has really gained momentum after demonetization. Now through this campaign, we are hoping to take the message of a cash-free India to the country, to highlight the steps that need to be taken to ensure that digitization reaches the common man. Now today we have some of the finest minds gathered in this room to debate and discuss all aspects of the initiative. We all, I think, understand why digital India is good, why going cashless will be good. It will be good for individuals, it will be good for companies, it will be good for society and certainly for the nation. But there are roadblocks. We outlined some of them a short while back. We will discuss others with you on this panel. What are the roadblocks? What are the possible hurdles? But wherever there's a roadblock, there's a way of circumventing it, of getting over it, and of moving even faster. And that's what we're going to try and do today. We're going to brainstorm possible solutions to take this forward even further. But let me first invite our chief guest, a person who's been a real visionary in just about everything he's done, whether it was tourism, whether it was other aspects of the things that he's done all through his career. Now one of the people who's really pushing both Startup India and specifically pushing the entire concept of cashless India as well. Amitabh Kant, please put your hands together for him. Arguably one of the most dynamic bureaucrats this country had, well, ever perhaps. Well, before the panel discussion starts, I'm going to ask you to give any opening comments you might have. You can do it from here or here, whichever you're more comfortable.
Let me first compliment MasterCard and NDTV for this very, very unique initiative of Cashless Bano India. This is, to my mind, one of the key challenges before the country. India has essentially been a cash economy. 86% of our transactions used to be in cash. 95% of our personal expenditure used to be in cash. Cash was a very integral part of our daily life. But India spends, according to one study, 1.7% of its GDP on cash. And just to print cash. And actually, another study shows that close to about 21,000 crore, that's approximately about 3.5 billion US dollars, is spent on circulation of cash around us. That makes India one of the biggest informal economies. Now, it can't be possible that India aims and its ambition and hunger to be a $10 trillion economy, but it should be a $5 trillion a formal economy, another $5 trillion parallel economy. It's not possible. And therefore, it was very necessary to smash the informal economy and converge and integrate it with the formal economy. And I think it's important that we move towards digital payments. Our strategy is that close to about 450 million Indians have smartphones. So they can do different kinds of digital payments. They can do wallets, they can do UPI, they can do USSD, all of them. They can do internet banking, everything on their mobile. So mobile, to our mind, will be your bank, it will be your wallet. There are, in addition to the 450 million Indians who have smartphones, there's another 350 to 400 million people who do not have smartphones, but they have mobile phones. And they use *99# to do transaction. Now what the Bheem app has done is made the *99# in different languages, in a vast range of Indian languages, made it extremely easy and simple to do. And the great example of Aadhaar enabled payment system is when you people go to Krishna and Godavari district in Andhra Pradesh, or you go to some of the ration supply dealers in Jharkhand, they enable you to supply the Aadhaar enabled payment machine enables you to take ration. It weighs your ration, gives you ration. But the ration dealer also acts as the banking correspondent and does cash in and cash out. And therefore, he becomes the banker for the individual. So India will be the only country in the world, because you have biometric at the back and a unified payment interface at the back, each one of us will be able to transact business using Bhim Aadhaar. And this is one of the greatest innovations which can take place. And to my mind, what India will witness tomorrow is a technological leapfrogging in many ways. I'm a great admirer of many of these great innovations which have happened in the past, ATMs, POS machine, and we have given a huge thrust to all of them. We believe that we should be technologically agnostic, and therefore we've given a huge thrust to everyone. The good thing which all these companies have done is to come out with the QR code, and QR code will make it very easy. That's also interoperable at the back, and therefore that will make it very easy. And what you will see in due course is a lot of huge amount of technological innovation taking place. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a unique moment in India's history. It's a unique moment because India will technologically leapfrog in digital payment. It will make India a more formal economy. It will ensure that India's tax base increases. Many of the people who do not pay taxes will come into this net and will become honest taxpayers. And I really want to compliment the Merchants Association, Mr. Khandelwal, who's somewhere here. He's done a great job of educating merchants all over. He's held about 120 odd camps just educating merchants. And merchants must move on, graduate into this digital payment era, because that is the future. Each one of us, it's incumbent upon us to really give this movement a big impetus, a huge growth, and a big push. And all of us will find it extremely simple. Government's aim is to spread this technological revolution. There's a big challenge of infrastructure at the back. But this year, the government is committed to connecting about 150,000 panchayats. 150,000 panchayats, and next year, another 150,000 panchayats. But other thing that we've done is to fast track this. We've converting a vast range of areas into Wi-Fi hotspots so that Aadhaar-enabled payments can be done. My compliments once again to MasterCards and to NDTV for this very, very unique, very innovative program on Cashless Bano India, and this program will give a huge impetus and huge push to the digital payment movement in India and make it a less cash economy. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Kant. If I can just call you here. Well, before I call the rest of the panel, I just wanted to call Ari Sarkar up here, our partner in this, co-president Asia Pacific at MasterCard. Thanks a lot for coming up and joining us. I'm going to invite everyone else also. Thinking about this campaign, as it's obviously a laudable goal. He outlined very clearly why it's important to actually become cashless. What are you hoping to achieve from the campaign?
Well, I think from our perspective and as an industry, what we are really hoping to achieve is that India is a very unique country where you've got two Indias. You've got the urban India, the developed India, and the developing India. And sometimes the issues and challenges are actually different for whether it's urban or a developing problem. So I think what we really want from this is very strong awareness of what those issues and challenges are, and it will need different solutions in these two Indias that we are talking about. And as we have this and involve the public and a broader debate and discussion, I think a strong public-private partnership on how we solve for some of these challenges. Some are more easily fixable and others will take a little more effort to build.
Interestingly, this is something which is not MasterCard specific, or for that matter any card specific, any bank specific. If the entire revolution happens as he says, it'll be a tide that will lift all boats. So it's not necessarily competition right now. Everyone is going to should try and cooperate and collaborate to try and get this happening.
That's very well said, Vikram. I think when we embarked on this campaign, this was really about the whole industry. And if we can work collectively on the common sets of challenges that we have to drive Digital India, I think we will be richer as a whole industry. And if we are richer as a whole industry, I think everyone benefits from it.
Come, let's grab our seats, and I'm going to invite the rest of the extremely eminent panel. Sunil Mehta, Managing Director and CEO of Punjab National Bank, one of the country's largest banks. It's a privilege to have you here on the panel. It's also a particular privilege to invite here Dr. Arvind Virmani, one of the finest economic thinkers we have. He's president for the Forum of Strategic Initiatives, also former chief economic advisor to the government of India, so can also help us understand things from a government's point of view. Mr. Rajiv Anand is executive director at Axis Bank. Banks obviously among the areas we'll be really pushing it. And it's wonderful to have with us Praveen Khandelwal, who's the General Secretary, the Confederation of All India Traders, because at the end of the day, the traders, the merchants are going to have to take on the message and push it through. So it's great to have you with us as well. Well, if I could just start by asking all of you, I mean, we heard Amitabh Kant very eloquently expressing why it is important. So if I could get initial thoughts from each of you, A, is it really crucial to push digital payments, and what should our target be? Should it be 20%, should it be 30%, should it be 80% within a couple of years? What do you think is realistic?
As a banker, I can say banking system can play a very vital role in this system, because we have a far reach in rural and far-flung areas. And if we start financial literacy campaign, which is a part of already the banking system, because all the banks, all the districts, we have got a financial literacy centers. So those financial literacy centers, and then we have a institution at each district level that is called Root SETI. So these are the institutions which we can utilize for propagation, for especially the acceptance part of it, as well as the knowledge part of it, awareness part of it.
Dr. Virmani, let me get you in on the overall principle of this. Now, we did hear Amitabh Kant saying that because Aadhaar is as prevalent, is as widespread as it is, it's successful, there's a possibility of a technological leapfrogging. You do use Aadhaar, you use mobile phones, maybe even the Jan Dhan, accounts. You can really get a technological revolution happening here. Would you agree with that, or is that optimistic?
Problem which arose, which one had to address, was that we had 350 different programs for the poor and less well off all over the country, and we had no clue who was getting what. That was the origin of the digital and the UID. But the point was that once you have a record of who is getting what from the programs, you can also identify who is not getting anything. That was the basic idea of the UID and the use of a phone to merge these. I think now, of course, we have taken it way beyond that. We have more bank accounts of the poor, etc. But at that time, it was not true. So undoubtedly, what I do endorse about what Amitabh has said is that it's a great way to get what we spend from the government, state and central governments to the poor. And that, I think, will take a big leap